Yeah, I'm having the time of my life right now. I'm talking to one of my favorite people, who saved my ass in Vegas. And
So
like it'll be an hour before we even start what we're here for. But all due respect, I love Rev. I miss Rev. But you're filling in. So this is the very first Monster Riff Radar.
I know. I'm like honored that you would ask me to do this. I really am, man. Thank you.
There's nobody else. Come on.
There are other people. That's the thing. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
What the hell would I? Who?
All right. I'm not going to drop name.
Welcome to Clean. See, the other stuff goes to membership, and here's where you and I start. Hey, welcome to Clean and Sober. I've got S. Patrick Brooks from the Heavy Underground Farm Report, the dude who keeps stealing my bands.
Dude, your bands are awesome. They're the best ones to steal.
No, I loved when, who was that? I did the whole...
The lung burner.
Gypsy, he's doing lung burner. This can't stand. That's one of my favorites.
Mine too. I was literally talking about honored. I was like, couldn't believe that you were talking about me, man. I was like, he's talking about me. I was showing all my friends, like, look, this guy's talking about me.
If anybody in the Heavy Underground knows how screwed up I actually am outside of this thing, it's you. So enough.
You
really,
not screwed up. You are not screwed up, dude. You're just a normal. You are a normal person going through normal things, and you know what? You're handling them really well.
I handled them through panic, worry, and about 20 to 50 milligrams of CBD. So what we're doing, this is not our list for the Doom chart.
No, it's not. Although part of but these are all on my list, obviously.
Yeah, but these are our top, not even our top 5. We're just picking 5 albums that are on our radar. Yeah. And as always, the younger person goes first. So what you got?
Is that me? I don't get to do this very often, being the younger person.
I'm going to be 62 in a month and a half.
Oh, my God. I just turned 58. So you're only 4 years older than me. So
you're still up behind the ears.
I was only in junior high school. You were only I was one of those kids you were hazing. So
I didn't haze. I did haze. I hazed fellow tuba players in the band.
That's awesome.
I was a marching band geek. So
you guys have your own culture. That's amazing.
So these are not ranked, but who's on the radar? Who should?
Yeah. So number 5. No, I'm just kidding.
The first one is
actually the first one. So
you'll steal one of mine. I know it.
All right. Well, I don't think I'm going to steal this one. I really like this album. It's different. It's pretty atmospheric and kind of nerdy and Dungeons and Dragons-y. It has some medieval influence in the Doom there, but it's Iguana Head's album, Lizard Core. Have you heard that album?
I have not.
It's really good, dude. It's doomy. And it's got, like I said, it's the kind of album that I'm going to put on if Harlan Link from Bog Wizard has roped me into a Dungeons and Dragons game of some sort. And so if we're not going to listen to Bog Wizard or Frog Lord, we're going to move right into Iguana Head. It's their debut EP, I believe. They are tremendous musicians, and the songwriting is really mature. It's just a well-crafted EP. I'm super impressed by it. It's not Cobra. It's like, there's like...
You do more aggressive stuff.
And I do, but this is like more into my psyche, ambient kind of thing. Although I don't know if I'd exactly describe it as that. It's more doomy. It's really good. You should check it out.
You sold me. I'm definitely going to check it out. Cool. And so is it out already or is it?
Yeah, it's already been released.
Okay.
First saw it on Mel Lee's Sunday Heavy Tour.
Cheater.
I will
The single best Facebook post every Sunday.
Honestly, seriously, if you're not checking that out, you are. That list is amazing.
It really is, and so
she does a great job.
Great job. I got one I got to throw out.
Yeah.
Like the reason, so we're doing this on the 28th. I don't listen to MP3s. I just don't. So whenever PR or whatever, and so that means a lot of stuff I'm not listening to until the 28th. And there's always some band that sends me, hey, check out our album. It just came out. And I'm like, sure. Dude, I'm getting stuff for September. What are you doing? Send it to me. I don't care. The name of the band is called Mantras. Okay. The name of the album's called Mentalism. And it immediately went, I'll tell you right now, it's number 2 of my Doom charts.
Wow. Must check out.
Over everybody. What it is extremely droney with some Mid-Eastern chord changes and all that, but it's different philosophers and teachers, public whatever figures that are talking. So there's no lyrics.
So it's like spoken word over drone.
Right.
Dude.
So it reminds me of Brian Eno and David Byrne had an album called My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, and Robert Fripp, where they'd have this really cool new wave music.
Weirdest. You're doing some weird foreshadowing here, but go on.
Yeah. And so, but this is heavy, and it's one of the best albums. And I wrote them today. Like, they just sent it to me like last night. I said, hey,
really, man, really.
Not only is this number 2 for this month, I am predicting top 20 for the year. With a real big possibility of top 10. It's heavy. It's doom. It's the music is incredible. They're out of Germany. So yeah, Mantra's Mentalism is fantastic.
Hell yeah, cool, man. Well, I will have to check that out for sure. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't catch that over the last 12 hours.
There was... I'll make sure you get on their mailing list.
Cool. Oh man, that's awesome. You know, that's what I really liked about this show. The times I've watched it with you and Rev, so I picked up so much good new music. I mean, it's like, what?
I had to wait until until the Doom charts comes out. Okay. Otherwise, I get certain unnameable people going, God damn it, what are you doing? You just screwed up my list. And I'm like,
that's fantastic. Well, screwing up people's lists is what we live for. All right, man. Speaking of lists, you want me to get back to my list?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So this album is probably the most traditional Doom album on my list this month. I have been digging this for about 5 days. The band is Outerhead. The album is Erevos, E-R-E-V-O-S. Sorry, my Spanish is horrible. I'm assuming that's Spanish. Dude, it's so heavy. The first couple songs are really heavy too. Maybe the second one's a little more pace to it. And then there's just a straight up punk rock song on it called... I sold on the... there's just like and then it goes back to the Doom thing, but there's punk sensibility throughout the album. And not like more like maybe like that late 70s English, I hate Sex Pistols, but that's probably not a bad, like, not sounding, but the attitude's there, you know, and it comes really through in the vocals, but the music is definitely, there's definitely some crossover songs here that I love that. I come from, you know, the punk rock world and this, you know, is like a great mashup for me. Just, you know, man, I like wrote so many notes. I'm not going to like get through them all, but there's a song called Electro. Dude, I did.
No, this is just off the top of the head.
Yeah. All right. Here's off the top of my head notes. But the song, Electro is like really doomy. And then it has a cool, like heavy psych portion in the middle. But this band's been around for a while, although not to my knowledge. Apparently going to take a hiatus after this. I think this album is just previously unreleased material. I don't know if they got together and recorded this album to be an album, but every song is badass and it's a must check out for sure.
Didn't Rob Hammer get banned from Facebook for the link to this?
Yeah, he did. That's so stupid.
By the way, Rob Hammer, I love you, man. But I was laughing so hard because I hate meta.
Yeah, fucking dude, they're like necessary evil, unfortunately.
If I could not deal with them, but then I lose my Instagram peeps, and I love my Instagram peeps.
Yeah, dude, and I make Facebook is kind of where I exist, so I got
getting banned off Facebook is the best thing that could have happened to the band. They're probably going to be top 5 now. But hey, they got Rob Hammer.
But they should, like, honestly, they should be. They're probably going to be in my top 5.
Okay.
I freaking dig it, man. It's like heavy and doomy and interesting and smart songwriting and, you know, varying tempos. It's just not the same thing over and over again. So
I'm sold.
I'll give it back to you, boss.
Okay. This one, I'm staring at my list and I'm like, I want to get all of them. But there's one, if I don't, I will never forgive myself. Midnight Whiskey Massacre, Satan's Grin. And people are picking up on it. Steve Howe wrote a fantastic review on Outlaws of the Sun.
He does such a good job.
Look, man, Midnight Whiskey Massacre is not for anyone, for everyone. Let me try that again. Midnight Whiskey Massacre is not for everyone. Thank God he has a drummer and a bass player on this one, but he doesn't care. His guitar leads do not follow traditional time signatures, do not follow scales or modes. It's purely a move. And his lyrics are like so off time that it really is like drinking like a half gallon of whiskey and going, but he is the most, I'm just going to say, I think he's one of the most original voices in Stoner Doom ever. I think he is a prolific songwriter who he has something to say. Like he doesn't put this out there like Venom was deliberately raw and rough sounding to scare people. No, Darren is like really reaching inside and putting things out. So there's a relatability and a realism to Midnight Whiskey Massacre. It just comes through in the music. Again, this is probably going to be a top 20 for the year for me. I just think he is picking up steam. He's picking up momentum, and it's not for everyone. And his vocals are how did I told him in my interview with him, it sounds like Mark Knopfler. You know how he does that low baritone voice? But after about a gallon of whiskey and 2 packs of filterless cigarettes, it's great. People do growl vocals to sound like he does naturally. So I love it.
I will definitely have to take a deep dive into that.
Yeah.
Man, I think over the last year or so, I've really, there's some bands out there that, lyrical content seems to be making more of a difference. I don't know, or maybe it's just that I'm paying more attention to it. But, like an album like you're talking about, or like Godzillionaire's album, there's it's just not Space Monkeys taking acid. It's not, skateboards in a fucking swimming pool. And I love all that. I love all that stuff. There's not, because I love that stuff. But it is, I don't know. I don't know if it's me or if it's a trend, but whatever. I like it. I like this genre allows artists to explore more emotions than just anger and partying.
So I think you're next.
Okay. So your album, I had some spoken word. So man, my number 3 album is Museum of Light, Diviner.
Okay.
Fuck, I love that album. Fine. Yeah, baby. Because you have great taste. Of course. Honestly, I thought about leaving it off my list because it seemed like such an obvious choice, but man, I love it so much. And I've listened to it a lot. And I even wore my Quicksand shirt, little post-rock tribute to Museum of Light. And they do so many different things. And they do them all so well. Speaking of, you mentioned Outlaws of the Sun. Steve Howe did a great review of this record as well. He sent this to me I don't know, 2 months ago, and I've been sitting on it for a long time, and it's been real hard not to talk about it. But the way the way they integrate the spoken word and the different genres, like we talked about post-rock, and there's some shoegaze in there, and there's just straight up doom, and there's, some hard, heavy rock. One of the things I like about the album, though, is that it's a series of 3 and 4 minute songs, which are pretty short songs for our genre. But it feels like it's 2 or 3 songs, maybe. It doesn't.
Refreshing.
Yeah, and the songs really, they don't sound the same, but they meld together in a very fluent way that makes it feel like you're watching some sort of rock opera type production. It's not just
you're waxing poetic on this damn album.
I really like it, man. I really like it. Yeah, you guys, if you haven't checked it out, Museum of Light, you got to check that out.
Fuzz Evil.
Damn it, you stole mine. What the hell?
Man, like I had high expectations for them.
Yeah.
And I've always put them at a certain level. One, the name is badass.
So
and the music is badass. So when I see
Mert's badass. Everything about him is badass.
your interview, and he's like, it's just really weird to have people come up and go, hey, aren't you with, I'm not used to that. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
I know, right?
You gotta be kidding. Because they could carry themselves as they're much bigger than what they are.
Yes.
I think this album lives up to their name. It is like the fuzz is very rich with this one. It's a very satisfying listen. Everything flows together really well. Again, this is another one. Usually I root for the underdogs. This is not an underdog by any stretch. This is the real thing. And I did kind of steal that from you, didn't I?
Let me just add these things. So here's what I liked about the new Fuzz Evil album that was different from their older albums. The addition of Cajun Adams on drums, and his vocals are crazy and very, if you're a traditional Fuzz Evil fan, it's not what you were expecting to hear probably. However, I'm not really a big harsh vocal guy, but some bands, like, it just fits their music. So, like Grid's album last year, when they're doing the Invader thing, and they have the one side, and like Trillion Ton Beryllium Ships does a great job with that. And so I felt like they're sparse, it's not dominating, but it's refreshing, and it's evil for sure.
It's evil, but it's fun.
Yeah, so I do, and I don't have any notes on it, but I'll tell you, the album I have been listening to the most this month that somehow is not on my list here is Rainbows Are Free's album.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, did I just steal your album? That album kicks ass. It's super heavy, and it still has its, man, Sunil Singh talks about this in his book a lot, to really appreciate those crushing, heavy moments, that you get from a band like, Dozer, or in this case, Rainbows Are Free. It helps to have some softer, introspective moments as well. And I think Rainbows Are Free does an amazing job of providing that contrast in their songwriting. And I just dig it, man. Like, it's been, I played it in the shop several times, and, the kids are like, it's pretty good, which is about as much as I can hope for. Yeah. And, yeah, man, sorry if I stole one of yours, but that's, when I did my list, how did I leave that off my list? And it was like, well, we're not doing a top 5 list, so I just leave it off. So there's the thing I left off that I added in.
And I did not like this album when I first heard it, because to me, the vocals didn't fit. Like, there's something about his tone. And here's the thing I've learned is, go back to it again, and it's like creeper weed. I think you might know what that is. It just grows on you. And I've done this with 5 bands over the past 2 years, where I listen to something and I go, and I feel bad for them, but it's probably not my. And then I'm taking a shower, or I'm working in the yard, and all of a sudden that song pops in my head, and go, okay, my thoughts are full of shit. But my brain, the back brain, it's almost never wrong. So I go back to it. I think the problem for me really comes down to, I listened to it. It was a high of 41 degrees. To me, this is a warm weather album. This is summer. This is it's like 80, a comfortable 80, 85 degrees, decent humidity.
I love how you're describing that.
Drink some lemonade or drink some iced tea, and maybe be doing some barbecue or something. This is just really, really good warm weather music. And I swear to God, as crazy as it is, I think it was just too cold outside.
No, I no, that's so funny. The Freaks album last month was like that for me. It's man, I can't wait to listen to this in the summer when I'm outside and barbecuing some chicken or something, man. Yeah, no, that's a really cool. No, I think, man, we both come from an addiction background, recovery, and I think we look at things a little bit differently, but yeah, I'm gonna probably listen to Black Capricorn if it's overcast.
Yes.
Yes. Or, and so the environmental conditions do have an effect on what I listen to. And it's cold, man, where we live. We both live in cold places in the winter. And
I'm in North Carolina.
yeah, dude. That's just, sorry. I know I'm going off too long, but that's definitely an interesting point, and it affects the way I listen to music too. Absolutely. Like, I'm not listening to Pink Floyd on a fucking sunny summer day.
Well, I am if it's echoes off of metal.
Oh, dude. Did you hear my interview the other day? Like, we had a really bad echo problem, and then I was brought it up to clean, and I was like, now Echoes is just a Pink Floyd album again. And then you just mentioned Echoes by Pink Floyd.
Wow, man. Coincidence? I think not.
Dude, where's my joint? All right, wait, I don't have one. All right, cool.
No,
all right.
Echoes will always remind me of Sunset in Pompeii.
Yeah, dude, I love that movie.
Okay, let me go to my number 4. I don't know if it's number 4 anymore, but if I don't mention this band, I'm going to
steal my number 1.
Huh?
I know you're going to steal my number 1. Here you go.
No, I'm not. So the band, their name is Droner, and the album is Salt.
Okay.
And it is so hard to describe. The recording, sorry guys, the recording and the mixing, it's
I'm a punk rock guy. That's okay with me.
Right? But it's like if you had a garage band doing world-class droner, it's one heavy psych gem after another, after another, after another. I love the band. And they're really good on social media. If you go onto Instagram, you'll see them. This is one of those sleeper hits where it's a little on the lo-fi side for me. And I would hope that on the next album, there's a little, because frequency smearing and the bass gets lost and the drums are buried and the vocals, but it's real, man.
Yeah, I like that. I'm down.
And it's definitely going to be, I'm not sure where, but I think it's good. I think fans who are sick and tired of perfectly polished, AI generated, you're using laptops on stage no, they just take a fuzz pedal, a flange, and a delay, and they just go, boom. And they write tight songs that make sense. I think Droner's actually a band to watch. So
I'm super excited. I was super excited.
So even though it's not my favorite to listen to necessarily because of the quality, I don't care because there's so much enthusiastic experimentation and a sense of wonder of, wow, we are making this music and we are proud to make it. And I'm a sucker for that every time.
I am a sucker for that too. I remember the first time I listened to Slift and I got that feeling. It was like, I don't know. These guys are just like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm not sure they do either, but holy shit. And then when I saw them, it was the same thing. So cool, man. I really do love that. That's rock and roll, right? I started listening to punk rock in the late 70s when I was pretty young, in the early 80s, and caught the LA, first wave of, Black Flag and Circle Jerks and stuff. And mostly it was because I was burned out on listening to shit like Steely Dan and fucking shit that was just like anything that Steve Lukather played on, just overproduced at the time. He's a great
Dan and Toto.
Yeah,
that's the brothers.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly. And so even in my youth, man, a rebellious youth. So things like The Clash and Black Flag became a lot more interesting to me at that point. So yeah, dude. So a band that you're describing, as soon as you said what you said, I'm immediately I want to listen to that.
Sometimes my critical nature actually is a selling point, because I think people are tired of everything being perfect. My last album is perfect, but
so is mine.
I don't even know. So I think you're up. And then this is your last one.
My last album, I think, is serious album of the year contender.
You're going to say mine, I feel.
Yeah. Nobody does the rock I like bands from the Northern European area.
Get on with it.
Did you know that Second Sound by Kaiser is the best fucking album that came out this month?
Thank God.
All right, cool. I didn't steal it.
You did not steal it.
Man, well, I stand by that, though. Every song on this album Fuck, but I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this album, like just countless times since I received an early copy of it. I don't really like the vocals are great. I don't know what to say other than like if you like Truck Fighters or you like Dozer and those type of bands, if you like Kaiser's first album, you're gonna love the second album.
And if you love this album, you're going to love the first.
Yeah, and that's actually that's the order that I discovered them in as well. I listened to the second album, then went back to the first album. They're one of my like favorite bands now. Like, I mean, like they're go-to for me. Like, I want to like I get off work and it's been 8 hours of smoke weed or whatever, and man. And I've listened to shitty EDM or hip hop that I don't like for the last 8 hours, and so I jump in my car, and this is the kind of thing that's like going to bring me back to my stoner rock reality, make me feel good again, and I just love every fucking minute of this album.
My money is on this to be album of the month.
Yeah, I think
my money is for this one to be potentially higher up. I can't disagree with anything that you're saying. And to me, again, this is a band that it sounds to me like their fifth album, and they have like, one of the greatest producers in the world or something. And, they've been touring the world and they're headlining. And this is the album that'll turn them into that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like the comparisons I know is people like Dozer, Truck Fighters, also pretty lofty. You're holding those up to some pretty, heavy hitters there. But like, I think they're like, they're like right in there, man. They're good. They are so fucking good.
I love it. Mine is a hard one, and this is my number one. But Sergeant Thunderhoof's live album, Avon Calling, and I have a hard time with this. And because one, let me say first the joke behind this Avon Calling. Come on, Dan. That's an American boomer joke. What are you doing in Bath, England? Avon Calling? We were together when we saw Sergeant Thunderhoof. And
it was life-changing type stuff.
I can swear in court a couple things. This is a real live album pulled off of the board.
Cool.
They did not fix Dan's vocals were better in Vegas than are on here. There's a veil to it.
Like, people don't know. Like,
I know.
I swear.
This is the bravest album I've heard in here, because it is them simply live. They recorded it. I think I was part of the Kickstarter. It helped fund their trip to Vegas.
Thank you.
But it's hard for me because Las Vegas was a very difficult time for me. And
I know,
listening to this takes me back to that place where, I have a trauma bond now with Sergeant Thunderhoof, and it is elegant. It is magnificent. It is not perfect. It's the bravest album I've heard. And I'm putting I never put live albums, because usually it's a live album with the studio overdub and overdub. Not this one. I think.
Okay, cool.
It is fantastic. We have Ritual King doing the same thing next month.
So Andrea's like, why haven't you purchased this album? I'm like, well, because the shipping is like more than the album cost, man.
I went for one of the big Kickstarter things. Look, wait a minute. You're a vinyl guy. You listen.
I know. I see it. I've seen it since the start.
Yeah, but look at this.
Oh, damn. I'm on it. We're gonna be taking care of that as soon as I get off the.
I love the label. This is
a throwback
to the old Vertigo label Black Sabbath was originally on.
Oh, that's
very
cool.
Simplistic.
I like that.
Very, very simplistic. I love everything about Pale Wizard, and I don't listen to vinyl, but I respect it. And dude, how can you not buy this? Look at it.
I'm buying it, damn it. When we get off, I'll be purchasing it.
And hopefully we have now helped sell out of Sergeant Thunderhoof.
But wait, good thing this isn't going right up, because I got to go buy mine before people hear this.
This will be up. That's right. This will be up Friday. And then.
Oh yeah, we can't beat the Doom charts.
Because I'm on Kickstarter.
Are you on it?
I'm on it.
All right, I'll tell you, I don't know about you, but I have like weird little things that like it'd be so cool if this ever happened.
Wow,
If I ever got in anybody's liner notes, I would just be like, probably die. I'd probably die. Like the Freak Folk of Monrovia put one of my quotes on their hype sticker on their album.
I know.
And dude, I was like, I don't even know how to react to this.
Did you see the Clean video where Jordan, the drummer, has a Clean and Sober Stoner shirt?
Okay. Does that stuff not like thrill you beyond belief? Like I feel like a little kid every time I showed up to see Luna Soul for like a pre-St. Patrick's Day thing at 11 o'clock in the morning. They were playing Old Man Show. It was perfect. And Dave Angstrom shows up in my shirt, man. Like hey. I didn't give him the shirt. He had hey. He must have bought it. So it was like, and like, I mean, it's so flattering. Like it's so like, but we're lucky. Like, media has a bad reputation in like every walk of life. Like, but we don't. Every band I've ever talked to has been so cool and super gracious and thankful for me. Weirdly, when I'm just grateful for them, you know. And it's just been a real cool experience, man. I mean, I can't overstate that enough. How
and look, here I am with you recording, you know, the inaugural Monster Riff Radar.
Dude, meeting you in Las Vegas was an amazing experience for me as well.
It was.
And I'm glad that we got to become friends. And I know that, yeah. And you know what, like, we both like have a recovery background. And so we know that sometimes, man, those hard times are what you learn from and grow from. And, you know, it's like, but it fucking still sucks. So,
oh my God, the lessons learned. Yeah, what happened in Vegas did not stay in Vegas. But
it never does.
I'm the guy that came home and did a video about it. So, you know, I don't get to play victim here.
No, man. I know, and you don't come across as a victim either. And I think that like life is just like, dude, we just know that we talked about Rev taking a break, you know, we're just all human beings doing this, you know, it's like we're not robots or anything. And like, you know, we get depressed or we get manic if we get too, you know, things are too good. And it's a challenge to deal with it sometimes, but I still like just love doing it. So it's just been fun. So I really like appreciate you asking me to do this. I've had a blast.
You know,
I had a fucking great time.